Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. We are back again with a story from our day-to-day lives. Functions, events, celebrations which happen all the time around us. Especially when one such event is being organized by somebody known to us, near and dear ones, we expect an invite. What happens when the invite doesn't come? And what happens when we come to know that I was not invited while someone else that I know of similar to my profile was invited? We start wondering why the invitation didn't come to me. Was it an oversight by the host, or it was a deliberate act? We start thinking about it, we brood over it, we analyze the signals, our interactions in the past, recent past, isn't it? We ask around, we keep wondering, why me? Why was I excluded? We live a life with a burden of being ignored by someone we deeply care about. Isn't it? This happens in our day-to-day life. Whether I'm a student, whether I'm working somewhere, whether I'm old, living my last few years of my life, such things keep happening for all of us as human beings. What do? A friend and I were talking about it today. My friend introduced me to a poem which was written by Rabi Thakur, or Rabindranath Tagore as many of us know, which was written in Bengali many years ago naturally, and the translation of the title roughly is about understanding or the process of understanding, Bozpara in Bengali. What does this poem say, and why am I referring this poem today? I looked up the poem, read its translation in English. I was profoundly touched by the way Rabindranath Tagore has described life's experiences and his recommendation of a way of life. I thought we must present this in Sadhana World Foundation because it answers squarely this experience of ours where we get ignored. The poem explains that we must embrace the reality, embrace the truth. The truth may be stormy, the truth may be breezy. However, we have to embrace it. We have to let that reality sit on our mind and heart squarely. He says that we, amongst our near and dear ones, will find people who will love us, and we will find some of them who don't. We will find again amongst our near and dear ones some of them who change colors under certain circumstances, and some who don't, despite inducements and stress. He says life isn't perfect. This is how the world is and has been for a very long time, as long as we can imagine. He then reminds all of us that we all withstand severe pain because we think that at the end of this pain or suffering, there is a period of happiness, there is a port of pleasure that we all are about to reach. We think that this pain and suffering will pass away. In fact, it passes away, and no sooner than we thought that the good times have come, suddenly, sometimes, some of us face again a terrible shock. Why does it happen? Because life happens. He explains that this is how this world has been. There are some times when we cheat others, we hide information from others, and sometimes we get cheated. So this is something which keeps happening every time in our lives. We must embrace how life is and how life will always be. That's what he explains. He says that we cannot fight with destiny. If we keep fighting with destiny till the time that we leave this world, we will be keeping on fighting with the destiny. We'll be fighting against these situations. We'll be fighting against the Mother Nature. How many people we will nurse and hold a grudge against? How long? What's there in this life if we live our time on this world this way? He encourages all of us that any truth, any reality could be stormy or could be welcoming like a breeze. But we must all accept both, because death just takes the life away. Possibly living life in this world is much better than leaving this place. Very profound, isn't it? I kept thinking about my own life, my own personal experiences, and I could realize that several times that I would have presented information in such a way that the other person doesn't feel hurt. However, fact is that I was presenting truth in a certain way to move away from reality, and the other person also doesn't accept, is not ready to accept, and hence we are not sure. But this world is a place which is not perfect. I thought extremely profound. We must all understand this world, and we must all understand that sometimes we will get ignored, and sometimes there will be bad times. That doesn't mean that this life is a bad life and a bad time. This is just a combination of good times and bad times. Things happen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, my dear children. It's worth pondering deeply why we feel ignored. Looking forward to our future conversations.